Hello.
It's 3 in the morning
Mm-hmm.
in Athens, Georgia. I opened for the truckers tonight. It was great. We have a classified, that's not the right word. What am I looking for? Where it's been put in the archives. An archived?
Archived.
We have an archived episode of Bubba Shot the Podcast. This is Clint Black, The Rain. It was recorded a few weeks ago. I'm not sure when.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
I hope you enjoy it.
And jiggy joy it. Getting jiggy with it.
I think you're making fun of me.
Na 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 na.
Next week, the song is Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. So seek that out. Is that funny?
By Good Charlotte.
No.
What?
Wow. She just revealed her age and lack of country bona fides. We're talking about lifestyles of the not so rich
and famous.
I did leave out not so, didn't I?
Yeah.
My bad.
Lifestyles of the rich and famous is Good Charlotte.
We are not doing Good Charlotte on Bubba Shot the Podcast now, later, or ever. We're not. Enjoy this episode of Clint Black, The Rain.
Bubba Shot the Podcast, and that's right.
Welcome to Bubba Shot the Podcast. Gentlemen, first the facts. Like the Rain is a song co-written and performed by Clint Black. It was released in 1996 as the first and only single that hadn't been recorded and released already on his Greatest Hits compilation album. It was his 23rd chart single, and in October of that year, it became his 10th number one hit. Confusingly, it was a Grammy Award winner the next year, nominated in 97, and then technically awarded in 1998. So on the calendar, 2 years difference, I think 14 or 15 months difference from the time it came out to the time it was actually awarded the Grammy. It was co-written with a gentleman by the name of Hayden Nicholas. We will get into him later, but he is Clint Black's band leader, and they operate like a band. It's not like a studio musician thing, and he's not like a songwriter out of Nashville. He is Clint Black's guitarist, band leader, and co-writer on a lot of songs. What's up, fellas? Welcome to Bubba Shot. We are, I was going to say we're down in Indian, but looks like we're up in Indian.
Hey, we've reached our quota for Indians here on the show.
No more Indians.
Well,
we didn't think he was going to make
you've
it
been
too
partying, living in Vegas, traveling around, and you're late for work. You've become a white man.
Hey, congrats. Welcome.
Thanks, fellas. Yeah, I've been in a kind of wild ride, but I'm back to home base, and I'll be a good engine.
All right. I shall not comment on that. Did you get most of the facts? Do you need me to repeat?
I did get the facts. Yeah, I got the facts.
Yeah, my man got the facts.
That's a lot of miles out of one song, which, I mean, I know that, sometimes you get that hit that just sticks around, and this one surely did, but, really, it being, recorded in 96, comes out in 97, wins in 98, that's a lot of fucking miles from a hit right there.
Yeah, it's kind of wild how that works, and I don't know what the rules are. Like I said, it became number one in October of 96, nominated for a Grammy in 97, but then awarded that Grammy, according to what I found, in 98. I don't know.
Well, I get a sort of feeling that might be some discrepancies here on the panel with this song, but maybe I'm wrong. I can't give a long and heartfelt reason as to why, really, but this song was always one of my absolute favorite country songs when I back in the day. This is definitely my favorite Clint Black song. And I like Clint Black. I fucks with Clint Black.
Did you wear Sabaton on purpose?
I thought it was funny. Katie had stacked up a bunch of shirts that I'm supposed to put up, she'd be doing laundry. And this one was on top. And I was like, we're about to do Bubba. It's just funny, irony. I don't know. I didn't wear it for any Clint Black reason, but yeah, I'm wearing a metal
I didn't
shirt.
know if you did, but you know, I was kind of saving this for later, but I guess I'll open with it. This is a really positive song lyric wise, but it's dark, heavy,
moody
music,
sounding,
very, very moody
and,
song.
and
I
it's
think that's probably why
driving. The reason I thought you might have wore Sabaton is it's dun, dun, dun,
this is so
dun, dun,
like
dun.
just you know, not that any of this will surprise anybody, but you know, as a poor, sad, fat, trash child, you know, all just checking
Metal.
all those boxes. When I was in high school, you know, thought I was smarter than everybody else, real angsty because I ain't have no mom,
It's
poor,
good that
all
you're
that
grown.
shit. I know, right? Yeah, at least I got over some of that stuff. But so anyway, I used to enjoy just walking in the rain. Like I'd walk home from football practice, and if it was raining and stuff, that really suited me
I like it
as a
too.
fucking as a 15-year-old. Yeah, but you know what I mean. It was like
Yeah.
like I was in a fucking some like
You,
Like
you
a
and
god.
you wanted
emo
everybody to
comic
see
book
you.
character or something about a comic book about pills. You know, I don't know.
Yeah. That's
Fucking. But anyway, I don't know if that's what it is or what. But like, because like you said, Drew, the lyrics of the song are very like they're like romantic and shit. But it does sound very like I don't know. It's got like a rainy
ominous.
day feel, ominous, and
Yeah.
Dude,
and yeah.
and-
But so, but this song just always really, really, really super fucking hit for me. It just ever since the first time I heard it. So
until
getting
we
that out there now.
until we decided to do it, and I pulled it up. In my memory, this was a song about either love unrequited or love lost.
I'm with you.
Like, you know, and we'll get into those lyrics. I'll go ahead and read the first verse, but that first chorus, like the rain I'm calling for you, just in my memory, this dude had lost somebody,
Right.
or she didn't love him back or whatever. And then I started getting into it today. I was like, oh, this is a very positive song. Anyway, let's get into it. I never liked the rain until I walked through it with you. Every thundercloud that came was one more I might not get through. On the darkest days, there's always light, and now I see it too. But I never liked the rain till I walked through it with you.
Yeah, I mean, I went into it the exact same as you when I started. I really started diving into lyrics, and I too had always assumed like I'm calling for you now. Like in my brain, it was always like, and she's not answering. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like hopefully screaming through the rain. But yeah, it's very optimistic.
Tushar, I assume you had no memory of this song.
No memory.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, don't look at me like I'm some kind of loser.
No, it's just no, it's not that. It's like
You
it's
poor
like
thing.
I just remember there's certain songs that I can't believe that anyone didn't hear them,
Right,
you know,
right,
regardless
right.
of your fandom. Because I remember when me and Amber first started dating, she had never heard the song "He Stopped Loving Her Today," and I was like, wait, what? And she goes, well, like I'm not the biggest country music fan. I was like, okay, like I'm not. I've heard the most popular EDM
But
song,
you have a dad.
but right, and they
And
listen
he
to country.
drinks.
Yeah, and like she's like, well, we listened to country when I was a kid, but it was just what was on the radio. Like they listened to '90s country and all that stuff, and I was like, but this song is just, and to me, like the rain feels like that. But granted, I go into different environments than Tushar does.
I
I'd say
wouldn't
so.
say that like the rain is like that for me.
It's
in my
not,
mind.
but-
I am not surprised Tushar hadn't heard it. There's not even a music video for it, and it is one of Clint Black's most successful songs. But it became successful over time, like one of those movies where the VHS sales just
Yeah.
kept piling up and
Mhm.
kept piling up. Kind of.
What
thing.
is going on
With no videos?
The videos
That makes no sense.
in the 90s, like a lot of these songs we've covered are like mid 90s. Videos were huge in the 90s. CMT, I'm sure,
Were
was popping
everything.
with country music videos. This song was a #1 hit, and there's no video.
They didn't
that's
need it.
So
It became the
fucking
number
weird.
one hit. So it becomes a #1 hit. I have a theory. We should get Tyler May and Co on here, although he will never agree to do this podcast making fun of country music.
Yeah.
But my theory is twofold. One, when we've run into that, George Strait, I can't remember the other ones, but a lot of times it's been people who were established. I think the music video was kind of like the mixtape, or let me think of maybe a better analogy. A TikTok, releasing a song on TikTok would be now. I think a lot of old school people were like, I ain't fucking with that if I don't have to, kind
Right.
of thing. We'll put one out if we need to. Like the Rain comes out and shoots up to number 10 in 2 months, gets nominated for a Grammy. Well, what's the point of wasting all that money?
I guess I just figured that like, you know, Warner Brothers or whatever record label you're with, like they just make you do all this shit. You know, they're like, we
Right.
got to have this, we got to have that. And
I think if you're Martina McBride, they do. If you're Shania Twain,
Right.
they do, and you want to. If you're Clint Black, who came out, I think, in 88, 87 when he first started, if you're John Anderson, et cetera, maybe they can't make you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you're on your second contract, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. That's a theory that I have. I can't come up with anything else. We now know music videos were huge in breaking artists, making them sustainable. Maybe they didn't know it then. I can't come up with another explanation because it doesn't make any sense as a business thing.
Right. I mean, it's clearly he didn't want to, because if he wanted to, they would have let him. But
Well, you know how and I don't know if this is still true, but I bet it is. But for a long time there, after Napster first came out and that became a thing, and the music industry was just on the ropes, like South Park said, like fucking Metallica can only afford one gold-plated Shark Tank now, or whatever. But like the narrative was like, the music industry is dying because of the internet, right? Well, during that, in like the aughts and stuff, that's the other narrative was like, except for country music, because those dipshit hayseeds ain't got the internet, so they are still buying records, baby.
Yeah.
We still hitting over here,
Cassette
time in fucking trailer park land. Yeah, ain't no computers to worry about here.
Yeah.
You fucking idiots. Who's That's the country music
I can't
industry
play a music video in my truck.
Yeah.
to the rest of the music industry. Anyway, so
I mean, yeah, you couldn't at that time. You couldn't play a video on a tractor. You are correct.
but what I'm saying is, maybe this was a similar phenomenon where it was like they were still so.
They don't have TVs.
No, the radio, they still hadn't gotten, they were still hitting so hard on the radio and in the traditional way that they had always hit at that point. They had not yet moved on to music videos being this like massive part of the machine, like rock music had, in the same way that country music just always a little behind because our people are slow and stupid
It's
and
also
poor.
because the fans are typically older. When you are in pop, at that time, rock, less so now, and definitely rap, you needed 18-year-old fans.
Right.
You couldn't come out and get a 35-year-old fan or a 45-year-old fan. Country still has that. Like 55-year-old, 65-year-old country fans listen to the newest country artist. Mm-hmm. Other genres don't have that as much. You got to get those new young fans, and that was the way to do it.
Was Clint Black hitting for several years before this?
Oh, yeah.
88 is when he started, so it had only been 8 years, but he had like a meteoric rise. Like his first album had like 4 #1 hits.
He's always been to me the Barry Sanders of country music, because I remember when he retired. And but seriously, like he retired and everybody's like, wait, what?
And
he's not old.
I remember when he retired.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like he retired and everybody's like, wait, what? Like, what? First off, you don't retire. You just sing country into whatever. And he retired and everybody was like, he just put out a #1 album. He's on fire. And I just remember thinking like, man, Barry Sanders did the same thing. Like he was hot. He wasn't old enough to retire. And then he just was like, fuck it, I've had enough.
Seinfeld. And like Barry Sanders, his legacy is not quite as strong as, people who won the Super Bowl or whatever. Clint Black is a monster, but he's never considered
in that tier.
I know that, my boy Thompson's opinion of anybody isn't going to change the, prevailing public opinion of someone or their legacy. But I think for that reason, because you're right, I agree with what you just said, Drew. He's like, he was huge and everything, but he's not like commonly considered up there among the greats or whatever, which is maybe why for a long time I remember Thompson's like go-to example when debating the sorriness of like new radio country music was always Clint. Like he would be like, if you look me in the face, if you can look at me with a straight face and try to tell me that Clint Black ain't 10 times more country than Florida Georgia Line, you can kiss my fucking ass. Like it was like Clint Black he was always like, ain't nobody gonna tell me that Clint Black ain't more country than these fucking, Q words.
Well, making a lot of money and then quitting work is pretty country. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but like he just, but I don't know.
He's also got a great country name, like Clint Black. Clint stands alone. That's great. If somebody was just named Clint, like how Cher is,
or
like that would
Ashwood.
be, right. But like Clint,
he kind of is that.
Yeah, right. But like Clint Black is a super hidden name.
Did he pick
cannot
that name,
believe-
Drew? Did you see that when you like?
I have found no evidence that he picked it. I cannot believe that Tushar did not have
I know.
commentary on Clint Black.
I thought it was too easy. I've grown this year.
That's good. That's good. He's grown this year. That's
I mean, it looks like that's his real name based on Wikipedia. So
That's a great.
that's nominative determinism,
Determinants
baby,
right
right
there,
there.
yeah.
That's
His
Well,
his middle
he was-
his middle name is actually not.
There it is.
He was born in New Jersey, which is interesting and outside of the norm. Now, he was raised in Texas, and his
There you
dad's side is from Texas. His dad's name is G.A. Black.
G.A. Black.
Yeah, go ahead, Tushar. Do some of that.
How is he?
Get all blacks.
I just looked him up. You said he hasn't retired. He did retire. He kind of retired.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure that he came back and did some other stuff, but I just remember that they were like, yeah, Clint Black's walking away. He's not making any more records.
I mean,
Like,
tell
remember
that to his upcoming tour schedule.
Well, yeah, Garth Brooks also retired. Like, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like, but
You know
he
his
did
music.
announce that he was
see.
retiring at one point. Nobody actually. I mean, goddamn, the Rolling Stones have been on the farewell tour since 1975. You know,
Buddy, it's a long goodbye, and it's worth
yeah,
every
it's
penny.
hitting.
All right, let's read some of these lyrics because we're 15 minutes in. We barely got into the song, and then we'll circle back to what we were talking about Clint Black. And I want to get into his partner Hayden, because I have an opinion and I want to run it by y'all about when you think about all his hits, and this one's a perfect example. All right, back to the lyrics. We're in what you'd either call the second verse, because they did that thing where they made a long verse up top, or maybe we're still in the first verse. I hear it falling in the night and filling up my mind. All the heaven's rivers come to light, and I see it all unwind. I hear it talking through the trees and on the window pane. When I hear it, I just can't believe I've never liked the rain. Like the rain, I have fallen for you, and I know just why. You like the rain, always calling for you, and I'm falling for you now, just like the rain.
I wonder, like, this song feels like either one of two lines. I don't know. Like the very first line, I never liked the rain till I walked through it with you. Feels like some songwriter thought of that line and was like, that's
Build
it. Here we
Build it
go.
around.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, but it's hard for me to believe that they thought of that first. If they thought of, I'll say this, if they thought of that first, and then after that, they were like, holy shit, like the rain, I'm falling for you. God damn, we got a #1 record, baby. That's double it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like both of those lines seem like that thing to me. Like when that occurs to a songwriter, they're like, well, we got to do something with that. And I just wonder like which one came first or how that all worked. But it's two very kind of like, they feel like they'd be light bulb lyrics for a songwriter. For sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. I agree. And it also gets back to that thing of, it's more impressive to me if the first line came first.
Yeah.
Because that means they thought of that and then decided to make the song positive.
Right.
Because it does sound like how good it was, you know, but it's also obviously a double entendre of being with somebody and you like being with them so much that even going through the hard times is easier or whatever. I don't know, man. I hear you on the lyrics and you're completely right, but I got to give it credit too. And we touched on it a minute ago of just how driving this song is. Mm-hmm. It reminds me, you know, we always do the rap comparison. It reminds me of very modern raps, not in like what it's about, but they have figured out now, like it's a big thing in rap to have more than one hook.
Uh-huh.
Like your bridge will have a hook, and then your hook is a hook, and then your lyrics are just 3 hooks back
hooks
to back.
all the way down, baby.
Hooks all the way down.
Hooks.
That's kind of what's going on here with this song. And that driving music really drives it home. Let's get back to it because there's not much of a story with this song. The theme is one theme, and it goes through it. When the cloud is rolling over, thunder striking me, it's as bright as lightning, and I wonder why I couldn't see. That it's always good, and when the flood is gone, we still remain. Guess I've known all along, I just belong here with you, falling like the rain. Like the rain, I have fallen for you. I know just why you like the rain, always calling for you. I'm falling for you now, just like the rain. I have fallen for you. I'm falling for you now, just like the rain. There's one more verse, but I'm going to pause for a second and get back to Clint Black in general and his co-writer here. Hayden Nicholas met, he was in the band Revolver.
Is this the oldest Hayden
He's
that
gotta
there
be.
is?
Well,
Yeah.
Hayden Caulfield was the.
Oh, right.
I think
Holden.
that's an old
That was
name.
Holden Caulfield. Yeah,
Oh,
Holden
you're right.
Caulfield.
Yeah.
I
But
was
some
gonna
of
say, I
those
think it's
names
an
though
old
are
name.
older than you'd think. They're sort of
Right.
like
Coming
old
back.
names that
Yeah,
then
right.
later. Yeah. I'm
Like
not saying Hayden
Silas.
is one of those, but it could be.
But like the oldest Hayden I've known is Hayden Christensen. And other than that, it's just little tiny Haydens running around the park.
Right. Well, his middle name's Hayden, James Hayden Nicholas, but he went by Hayden.
Probably a last name then, I bet. He had a maternal papa whose last
Right.
name was Hayden. That became his
Right.
middle name, then he went by it. Glad we've figured
Done
this
that.
out.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
gotten right down to the heart of it. He was in the band Revolver.
I'm sorry.
Played extensively in Texas. Then he moved to California where he got work as a guitarist. And he came back home in 87 and he met a struggling country singer named Clint Black. Nicholas had a home studio. They joined up together to record a demo for Black and try to get a recording deal. Their first collaboration, Nobody's Home, helped Clint Black get a recording contract in 88 and became a hit. Clint decided to keep him on, and they have been together ever since. He is, as I said earlier, the band leader. He plays lead guitar, so he's not just writing the lyrics, he's also creating the music. They often go on retreats to Colorado to write songs for their next album. Over 60 of their collaborations have been on Black's albums, with 15 of them hitting #1.
Hell yeah.
He's been nominated for Song of the Year twice with Better Man in 89, which we can't do on here because it's not the 90s, and Killing Time, which we could do on here because it was 1990, also
And we shall.
co-written by Clint Black. He's gotten several Grammys. The Hard Way was included in the musical Urban Cowboy and was nominated for a Tony in 2003. He's almost a double Grammy Tony winner. Yeah. It's rare in country, especially of this era, for someone not to be, okay, you're a songwriter, you get a job as a songwriter. You're a singer, you get a job as a singer. You're a studio musician, you get a job as a studio musician. And this machine that is Nashville will take and pick, okay, we got this young guy. What kind of hit does he need? Is he good looking? He's good looking. All right, let's give him a fun song. What fun songs do we have in the stable? Boom. Who can play on this album? Who's available? I think that Clint Black's sound is slightly different because he's really in a band,
right?
Just with the front man as the name or whatever. And I think that's interesting, but I also think it's why he's different and maybe not as respected as he could be because he didn't have, I don't know, as many songwriters to pull from. You know what I mean?
That's interesting you say that because I'm thinking about the only other person I know who's like they've got a band and their band does all the studio stuff with them and they've had the same band for literally ever is Brad Paisley, and everything
is like that.
Okay, and all three of those, everything they do, I'm not saying everything they do sounds alike, but they all have their certain feel to it. Whereas some people, they'll put out a record and it's like, man, this has a completely different, thing. But everything Clint Black does has that little, Clint Black button on it.
And he's got a deep voice, but it's also a lot of dark songs. I've been thinking about it. And obviously country it's a trope that we have sad songs, but even the music is kind of brooding. Clint Black has a sort of brooding tone. I mean, one of my favorite songs is Wherever You Go, There You Are. It's an existential crisis song where he's like, you can keep drinking, you can run from yourself, you can do all this stuff, but wherever you go, there you are.
Also, most of the time when a country song is not sad and it's happy, it's usually like really, really cheesy, stupid, happy. And this is a happy song, but it's not that. Like it's just it's positive, but it still sounds, like you said, him singing it still sounds like very brooding. Probably why we thought it was sad.
I liked it. The second verse had a reference to all the heavens. Right, it has like a kind of a tip of the hat of like the world in terms of. It's funny when I ended the song, I was like, this whole song is about God and this and that, and it's not. That was my bias kind of working into it
because all the other songs that we've done,
all the other songs have been very God heavy. Is Clint Black considered, or is this song considered kind of anything with the old Bible? And
I sure hope not.
I'm genuinely glad.
I'm not trying to ruin the song for y'all, but just the one word kind of was like, ugh.
I'm glad you asked that because I did look some stuff up, not about the song, but about Clint Black. I have said to Corey and Trey before I think on the Well Read podcast, you could tell me about anything about Clint Black, and I would believe you.
Mhm.
Because on top of the retiring early and the Barry Sanders stuff, and him not being a super duper like into pop, he didn't put out music videos. He worked with one guy his whole career. You could tell me that him and Hayden were gay. They've been
Yeah.
hiding it the whole time, and I'd be like, oh, I could see that. You could tell me that he is a right-wing Christian militant freak who has a small army living on a compound. He leads a cult now, and I'd be like, okay. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know anything about Clint Black, but it's super interesting because it's as I looked into him, he's been in movies.
Uh-huh.
He was in Maverick.
Yeah. Maybe
He
hits.
was a
Maybe does hit.
well, I can't think of Mel Gibson's name. It was a Mel Gibson movie, so it's not like
No,
it was
that's
a
Maverick.
random movie.
The
Mel
movie, yeah,
Gibson-
the poker
Maverick
movie?
is a Mel Gibson movie.
God, that
Yeah,
movie
that's what I said. I
rules.
couldn't think of Mel Gibson's name.
Oh, I thought you said you couldn't think of. I thought you came up with Maverick, and then you said I can't think of the Mel Gibson movie. That's my bad. I missed.
Oh no, I was just saying what the hell. Anyway, my point is, it's not like a random movie that was underground.
Right.
Do y'all know Clint Black's song from that movie? It hits so hard.
I'm
in my
sure
opinion.
I know if
It's
you
just
told me.
It's a fun song about gambling. It's called "Good Run of Bad Luck."
Oh, I
Yeah,
love that song.
Fucking smashes, dog.
Yeah, yeah.
Also co-written
So
by
good.
Hayden Nicholas.
Nice.
I'll check it out.
That is a great song. So I was looking up facts about him, trying to figure it out. I forgot he was on Celebrity Apprentice in 2004.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Did
I
you,
do
did you remember that, Trey?
No, I don't. I never. I didn't keep up with Celebrity Apprentice too much. I remember some of the more like. Well, no, not really. Some people you bring up that were on that, I'm like, yep, I remember them
'Cause they
showing
had
their
that
ass on that
viral
show.
clip, yeah.
Yeah, but he's not one of them.
How
For
far
me.
did he go?
He is married to an actress. Her
Hell
name
yeah.
is, I lost it. Where's it at? Lisa Hartman. Lisa Hartman and he got married in 1990. She was like a TV actress in the late 80s, early 90s. He also lived in LA with her for a few years.
That's probably why he was in them movies.
Yeah. I was surprised to learn that because I went into this like, man, I don't know anything about Clint Black in spite of the fact that he's kind of Southern royalty. And then I thought, well, that's sort of his thing. He's like mysterious and he did retire and he didn't care about the spotlight. And then I find out he moved to Hollywood with his actress wife, was in movies. It didn't trickle down to me. I don't know.
Wonder if he was going for
trying
that
to do-
EGOT
yeah.
or something.
Right,
You said he had the Grammys and the Tonys, and then he's also doing this acting stuff. I wonder if how wild would it be if Clint Black
was an EGOT?
was on the short list of EGOT recipients? That'd be wild as hell. Maybe
That would
that's
be wild as
what he
hell.
was going for. Didn't work out, so he just called it. I don't know.
That you think that's in his mind though? Like you said, he thought, I'm doing this music thing, but I want to focus more on acting. Like around his retirement, did he start getting some more roles that we don't know of? And he's just like, this is what I want to do. And
I didn't see any. I kind of wondered if he was just out in LA hanging out with his wife and, you're Mel Gibson, you meet Clint Black and he's like, I'll do a song for your movie. Just put me a little role. It could also be too. I thought of this. This is pre-Twitter. There's no talking heads. I was 10 or 8 or however old I was. I wonder if like he went Hollywood in the minds of country music fans a little bit. And that is also part of why, he's not.
I'm not going to have enough
beloved.
good examples to pull, but I feel like there was like a long established tradition of that being a thing, singing cowboys and stuff.
Christopherson.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
Roy Rogers,
way,
the original.
going way back to fucking them days. It's like it's just like a thing that you used to do. Did both. Yeah. Fucking you good
Ryan
with
Bingham
ponies and
doing
play
it
the
right
guitar, stand in front of this camera in the fucking desert.
That's
shoot
true.
At that Indian.
That did used to be. You're right. That did used to be more of a thing. Like now, when a country singer is in a movie, it's usually some stupid B movie on CMT or whatever. But it's weird because nowadays,
some people we love are getting into like the more prestigious stuff.
Yeah,
Ryan
Bingham,
Sturgill Simpson, Isbell.
Yeah, you're right.
I feel like, and it's funny because they've just completely, routinely, frequently overlooked us. But I feel like part of what happens is, and I'm just pulling this out of my ass, but I feel like Hollywood's like, we need some goddamn like
rednecks,
sort of rednecky cowboy ass people, and we don't know anywhere.
Right.
We already got 4 Brits that are going to play these guys,
right?
but you can't have all. It'd be nice if we had some that weren't that. So what are we going to do? And people are like, you ever heard of country music? You know,
Yeah.
you know those
They ain't doing
idiots.
shit.
Let's get some of those idiots in here. Fucking
Right.
give it some fucking.
They look good. They're recognizable.
Spitting legitimacy for the fucking hayseeds out there. Then they'll deal with it, you know, or whatever. Like that's how I feel like.
Yeah.
Maybe that sort of came about.
Speaking of Jason Isbell, not to derail this, but I saw him in Vegas, which is the reason I went at the Virgin Theater, and that man has a beautiful voice.
Sure does.
He puts on a hell of a show too.
You opened for him, Trey?
In Vegas. Yeah.
How did that go well?
In Anaheim. It went okay.
Yeah.
I did Anaheim and Vegas. Anaheim
That's when I got engaged.
Anaheim went surprisingly well. Vegas was just fine. You know, I mean, you know how it is.
Vegas is only fine when people came to see you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, like comedy in front of music is always a
I just because I saw him open up, and I was like, Trey open like in this situation does not seem fun.
But this hits. I don't know.
I was trying to find, and I can't pull it up quickly, a picture that Andy showed me of Isbell recently, where he's letting his freak flag fly a little bit. He's starting to dress very much like a hipster, and I just think it's funny that Hollywood is like, we need us some cowboys, and then they get like, I love Jason Isbell. I'm not trying to shit on him, but he's not a cowboy. I mean, he's a poet. He's a very angsty, you know what I mean, like that kind of guy. He wears rings. He dresses like a fucking vampire. He just wears cowboy boots instead of regular ones. But you know, vampires and cowboys got a similar thing going on.
Vampires apparently hit for him. He got that song.
He'd be dressing like him. I'd forgotten about that. But that's definitely why I said that subconsciously. Let's finish these lyrics, fellers. If I can find where I had them. There we go. When the night falls on our better days and we're looking to the sky for the winds to take us high above the plains, I know that we'll find better ways to look into the eye of that storm that will be calling forever will be falling like the rain. I have fallen for you, and I know just why you like the rain. Always calling for you. I'm falling for you now. Just like the rain, I have fallen for you, and I know just why you like the rain. Always calling for you. I'm falling for you now.
That's my favorite part of the song when they get into this and it's just the piano. It's when the night falls on our better days, and then it builds up and it's just do 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 like the that.
It sounds like Meatloaf, dude.
Yeah, it's really like I was gonna say Broadway kind of, but like it really builds to this crescendo, and it's like fucking Broadway. Awesome.
It's like a fucking. It's like a rainstorm.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Well, dude, it's like a metal song without the
It starts out with like, you know, it's like drizzling to begin with, and it builds to this like big thunderclap crescendo thing. Yeah, it's just a really cool song in my opinion. Again, and like I think as far as I recall, I just liked it like purely musically.
Yeah,
like again, I'm sure it was the sound of it, the sort of like we already it does sound dark and brooding, and that suited me to a fucking T at this time. And because I didn't have no, you know, I didn't have no love. It wasn't fucking Bag of Shit Amber hadn't come along yet, I don't think.
Right.
I wasn't equating this song to any girl in my head, I don't think. I just really liked the way, just musically, I just really appreciated this song. I feel, I might be misremembering. There might have been some, you know, trailer hoe in there. I don't remember, but anyway.
There's got to be an unlimited number of Bollywood songs because this is almost
about rain
and love. Like this is almost a cute analogy, and I don't know the exact song, but I'll ask my mom to see. Like there must be a something like this that has.
It's funny because I've been sitting here trying to think of the rap version. And I felt this just ain't very rap. You know, rap they don't rap much about like
Make It Rain, Lil Wayne.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, if you want to go that, sure. Making It Rain, you can find all kinds of them. But like trying to like a song about someone gaining an appreciation for something else because of a woman, that ain't rap. I ain't gonna rap about that. Maybe there was a song in the '90s about two crackheads loving each other or something like that. Like a cautionary tale. I don't know, but. Yeah, I couldn't think of nothing. Rap don't get sweet often,
which is why it hits for me.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I like
some
bangers.
R&B song though.
There's definitely an
Yeah.
R&B. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Anything Boys to Men did was this.
I
Oh,
can't
yeah, I
believe
remember
this
her.
guy wasn't bigger.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy.
Well, and that's his, at the time, not famous, but somewhat of a celebrity wife.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. What I know we talked about her earlier, but what was her deal? They like.
Yep. She was on a bunch of TV shows in the late 80s and early
Okay.
2000s as he was breaking.
Is she related to Mary Hartman, wonder?
I don't know. I didn't look into her too much.
I can remember them, or I seem to be remembering them being a kind of sort of like a country tabloid item.
Look at him.
You know what I mean?
Hollywood,
like an
good-looking
it
guy.
couple, but in the
Yeah.
country world or whatever. I
But
feel
it
like I
didn't-
remember that.
You're right, but it didn't it seems to me that it just didn't. Maybe they were like 5 years too early. I mean, maybe this dude got in a fight with somebody at CMTs, and that's why he wasn't doing it right.
Or he did exactly what he wanted to do, and it just wasn't,
It may be, but it's like they were taking these pictures and being a part of that tabloid thing. I don't think he wanted to do that.
Right.
But maybe I'm wrong.
But yeah, no,
how much would that not hit?
No, my God, taking a picture with your wife
for a magazine.
No,
but just being one of those people that like tabloids want you to take pictures.
I mean,
for them
obviously, if you're that person, then you get all the millions of dollars, so that makes it easier, I guess. But still, that would be the worst part of the job for sure, dude.
Absolutely,
it's the worst part of our job, and we don't even have to do it as much as these people. You know what I mean?
You mean going to a shoot or people just like taking pictures of you on the red carpet?
Both.
I meant being one of those people that is required or required of or desire. Yeah, right. There's plenty of people that hit real hard and make plenty of money in this game that like the magazines don't give a fuck about, that don't ever have to put up with that type of shit. And I don't care what I'm doing. I don't ever
in my limited experience,
and I never will be. I mean, I'm not worried
because you
about
don't want to. In my limited experience,
dude, like I'm not. I ain't gonna.
You ain't got no 18-year-old fans.
Magazine fodder, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you went to the red carpet and all them people made fun of you.
They did. They did. And for the record, I was getting into that. I was going to get into that in my limited experience on the red carpet, because I am an attention whore without question. I'm not even going to try to act like I'm not. But that type of thing, it didn't hit for me because it's really weird. You don't really walk the red carpet and then they just take pictures. There's like stations and you just kind of shuffle to the station and then you have to stand there and you don't really know when they're done taking pictures of you, and it's weird. And then you just go to the next station. And then, yes, if you're me, you get placed besides the cast from a really popular Netflix show, and they all are 5'5", 110 pounds, and you just sticking out like a sore thumb, and then you get voted worst dress.
You should have thrown one of them into the crowd.
I
could pick you up. Like
I could have.
Look, these little boys. I could pick them up.
That would have been so goddamn funny,
dude. I could have thrown.
You got arrested probably, but
for sure.
Hilarious.
Dude,
worth it.
All press is good.
So
press.
worth it. You could have done every podcast. Rogan would have had you on the next day.
Yeah,
all right.
Sure.
One thing I got to throw in here because it didn't come up, but I wanted to tell y'all because it hit for me. He is a high school dropout.
All right.
Nice.
Clint
Hell
Black.
yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see people make it. Married
that could have been the Jersey side or the Texas side coming out in him.
It's really tough to call what happened there. He's Italian on his mom's side and he's redneck on his dad's side. It's kind of wild that he ain't been in the tabloids more, if we're honest.
Right, yeah.
It's time for a rating, fellers. I know, because I don't think we got a rap comparison and there's no video, so.
Mm-mm. Well, I mean, I opened up by saying how much I fucking love this song. I can't and I know I've made it a point before to be like, well, if Fancy and these other, if these are threes, I can't make this a three. But again, it does hold up for me, but it don't hold up on the level that it hit for me at the time. Like back then, like I said, this was among my very favorite country songs.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking loved it. And it still hits for me real hard, but I don't look back on it and think like, man, that song was even more of a masterpiece than I realized. Like I don't do that, but I'm still just out of respect. I mean, I'm going to give it a three out of 3 because of how hard it hit for me for how many years,
That was a curveball there at the end.
Yeah, I know. I felt the same way going in. I was like, man, I've loved this song forever. It's awesome. I'm probably going to give it a 3. And then I thought about the whole, like, dude, you fucking give everything a 3. But then just being objective, I think that musically, it is a 3 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Lyrically, it's probably more of a 2 1/3 Earnhardt. So I'm going to meet there in the middle and say it's 2 2/3 Earnhardt. Because I, like, again, now realizing like, oh, it's not this sad song that I thought it was going to be. It kind of takes it away from me a little bit, but the music is so good. I love the crescendo that it builds to. And there are 2, like Drew said, there's 2 light bulb lyrics in there. So I think a solid, hard.
That was me.
2
I said
2.
that.
Okay. A hard 2 2/3.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with 2 2/3 as well. I'll give a slightly different explanation, which is I think this is a borderline perfect song, but it does not transcend. And I think that's what I would say about Clint Black. Clint Black is unbelievable, but he's not transcendent the way that Fancy or Reba McEntire is and was. So I'm going to go 2 2/3 Earnhardt for a great song that just isn't a transcendent song.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going 2 1/3. I'll take a third off from y'all's ratings just because I didn't know him. There's not a video. I didn't like the heaven reference. I know that's so hard.
You said heavens though.
Heavens.
Heavens is
Heavens is dead. Way
Heavens
different.
is different than heavens.
Yeah,
no,
Heavens
it is. It totally is, dude. I'm as godless as they come, and I might refer to all of
The
that
heavens.
as the heavens.
Because
The
that's
heavens.
open. That's at least open-minded, but like the heavens is mythological.
It's still
I don't know. I feel like
spiritual. It's spiritual.
I feel like it predates like the Greeks. The Greeks were calling that the heavens.
The heavens,
And-
yeah.
where their gods live.
I know.
But God's is different than God. I can
Not
deal
the
with God.
Tushar.
Oh, right.
God.
That's true.
Yeah. We need many heavens. There's many gods.
Where are we going to put our elephants?
I did really. I really did
That's
love.
what thunder is.
I love the piano in the song. For me, it made it into something that it's just beyond just a classical country music, or maybe it isn't. But I have to go a little lower just because I don't know. There's no video, which is rude at this point for me. And I couldn't. I just feel 2 1/3.
Let me say this before we leave. I think I'm going to start pointing this out when I see it. And I know we've got a song on the list coming up that is this. This, in my opinion, is only a country song because Clint Black sang it.
I agree.
Imagine Josh Groban singing this song, and really nothing has to change. Even melodically, even the way that it's instrumental, nothing has to change. And you go, that's a Josh Groban song.
I feel that way about most of his music, and I think that he and Hayden Nicholas having that partnership is a big reason why. And it might be why he didn't get all the way to that, top God level as a performer.
Right.
Yeah, that's an astute observation, Joe. I definitely agree with you. But Clint Black, he hits.
He's country.
In a country way.
Like
so
Waylon Jennings said, how do you know when a song's country? If I sing it, it's country.
Right. Yeah, there you go.
I'm not great at math, but I'm pretty sure we just hit a 2 2/3 average. So it's pretty good for that song.
I think so.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, Clint Black. You can come on Bubba Shaw the podcast anytime, and we'll talk about being an Italian redneck.
Hits.
Bubba Shout the podcast, and that's right. A show about country at its height. Don't expect no shit from 2005.